Welcome back to Southern Soul with a Cajun twist. I'm your host, Chef Sophie Marie, and you know I'm your favorite chef. You just don't know it yet. Today we're cooking up some Soulful Eats. But before we get to the Soulful Eats, you see it already on your screen. This meal is going to be Bon Appetit. Let's give a shout out to our sponsors. Today's episode is sponsored by Summit Mercantile Antique Mall, Pink Company Beauty Supply, Vintage Girls of Summit, Mississippi, and T-Fusion. Today we're whipping up something nice, something right, and of course you know it's going to satisfy your appetite. Let me let you know what's on the menu today. I want you to lean in and pay close attention because these ingredients that I'm going to share with you, these are some creative recipes, okay? We're going to have some black garlic, yes we are, black garlic collard greens, braised turkey wings. We have some sweet potatoes, everything soulful, yes. So let's get into it. I already have my turkey wings that have been marinated. You know, over here we're building confidence in the kitchen. So you won't be all stressed out and things. Go ahead and prep your proteins so that they can be sitting 30 minutes, an hour, but if you have time, you know, 24 hours is best. The longer it sits, the better it gets, okay? So we have our turkey wings and it's already marinated in some high temp oil, which is the avocado oil. And so I have the seasoning here, the same seasoning that we're going to use for our collard greens is the same seasoning that we have marinated our turkey wings in, okay? So we're going to add just a few tablespoons of, maybe I'll say like a half a cup. We'll say a half a cup. We'll start with a half a cup of the chicken broth. And we're just going to place this in here. And these are going to slow cook 325 for an hour and 30 minutes. You're going to check it at an hour and 30 minutes. Let it go for an additional 30 minutes, okay? So low temp, slow cooking this, okay? So at your 2 hour mark, you need to check them. They should be nice and tender. I'm not trying to make a mess here. Okay, so this looks like enough. I don't want the turkey wings to be all covered, so not so much liquid, but just enough. A cup should do you just fine. Depends on how large your turkey wings are and how small they are. So they're gonna bake at 325 at the longest 2 hours. At that 2 hour mark, you want to check your turkey wings to ensure that it's tender to the bone. Get your fork and poke it through there and see if it's tender to your liking. We already have our oven preheated, so we're gonna go ahead and put these in the oven. We're gonna have these covered and we're gonna check these at the 2 hour mark for tenderness. We'll be back in a moment. Welcome back to Soulful Eats. I'm your host, Chef Sophie Marie, and you know that we're building confidence in the kitchen. We have our turkey wings. They're in the oven at 325. We're going to let those go for about 2 hours. So we're going to get started on our sweet potatoes. I have my assistant in the kitchen with me today, my main man, Damien. He's going to be moving around the kitchen with us today. So we're going to get started on our sweet potatoes. We have our secret weapon. We love our pineapple juice. Yes, we do. So we're going to allow this pineapple juice to get very acquainted with these sweet potatoes. This is going to add some in-depth flavor. We're going to add about a half a cup of pineapple juice to these sweet potatoes. Now you know that we're always bringing our pan up to temp so that everything can just cook evenly. You hear that sizzle? That's what we need. Anything that you're incorporating, whether it's liquid, whether it's your meats, whether it's your veggies, we need to hear that sizzle, okay, to ensure that we know that that pot is nice and warm. So we have some pineapple juice remaining left over, so we're going to use that towards the end, just in case we need to add more liquid. So we're going to bring this up to a nice little simmer, not so much of a rolling boil, but to a nice simmer. But while we're allowing that to come up to a simmer, we can't move any farther without our vanilla extract. So we're going to use about 2 tablespoons of the vanilla extract. You know vanilla extract is going to give in-depth flavor as well. You don't want to add too much liquid to the sweet potatoes because they're going to become mushy. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to cook this down. My sweet potatoes are nice and thick. So I feel that we'll still have some type of texture to our sweet potatoes. So we'll add 2 tablespoons here, there, and here and there. Okay, we're gonna add those sweet potatoes, add the vanilla extract to the sweet potatoes. Yes, God, yes, we will. We also need to add in our pink Himalayan salt. Now, you know pink Himalayan salt, we're best friends over here, okay? We're just gonna add a little of this to our pineapple juice. This is also going to bring out that flavor of that pineapple juice. Not much at all. Just a nice sprinkle. Damien, I'm going to get you to get this whisk here and just whisk that around in there to get those flavors and everything very well incorporated in there. Nice whisking around. So sweet potatoes and collard greens are a girl's best friend in the kitchen. I know your grandmother, your aunt, your uncle, I know they're familiar with these sweet potatoes. Okay, Damien, so we're gonna go ahead and incorporate those sweet potatoes into our pineapple juice. Sweet potatoes marry well. Let me just say that. Sweet potatoes marry well with this pineapple juice. I'm sure that you know this is an old school technique. This method right here is very old school. It's nothing new, but it's something that we haven't really used in a while. But here with Chef Sophie Marie, we build confidence in the kitchen. And trust me, this confidence marries well with this pineapple juice, okay? So this smells very, very great. This smells lovely. This smells very lovely. So we're going to allow these to go for about 15 minutes. We're going to have those covered. And while they're going, we're going to prepare ourselves for the collard greens. Yes, we'll be back in a moment. Hey, it's Chef Sophie Marie, and we're here at Pink Company Beauty Supply. I'm here to grab a few things that I need, and where I know to get them from is right inside. Come with me. Listen, I have mine. You need to come down here to Pink Company Beauty Supply. 20% off of your purses each and every time. Who will want to shop at Pink Company Beauty Supply? Cosmetics, jewelry, body butter. Come down to Pink Company Beauty Supply. Summit, Mississippi. I got mine. You should come get yours. Welcome back to Soulful Eats. I'm your host, Chef Sophie Marie, Southern Soul with a Cajun twist. We're cooking up some soulful eats in the kitchen today. Of course, you know we're building confidence. We have our collards, which we are going to prepare a black garlic collard green. Damien, I'm going to get you to add in a little more of the pineapple juice to our sweet potatoes. We have those covered. We're going to let those simmer down for about 15 or 20 minutes. We're going to periodically check those sweet potatoes. We don't need any sticking, glitching in the system, okay? And so as you're adding the pineapple juice, you want to add just a little water to it. The main thing I'm using for this recipe will be the pineapple juice. Remember, it adds so much flavor to those sweet potatoes, okay? So we're going to get started on our black garlic collard greens. Collard greens are a staple in our household. You have to have some type of greens. We're actually going to do a fried collard green, not the traditional boil style. So we're going to fry these up, and we're going to have, Damien, I'm going to get you to test that oil out. So like I'm always telling y'all, to check the pots as you're in the kitchen. Place your hand over it. There you go, Damien. Place your hand over it to see if it's coming up to temp, because we don't want to incorporate any cold on cold pans. This is going to ensure that we get an even cook throughout it. So we're going to start with some hickory smoked bacon. This is going to add that in-depth flavor. We're going to use that fat from this bacon. We're going to get into it. I'm so excited for this recipe today. Here you go, Damien. I'm going to get you to add these in there. Just gradually add some bacon in there. Let's just see if this pan hot enough to bring it up. Okay, we don't have that sizzle that we're looking for, so we're going to hold off on the stick and turn that heat up just a smidgen higher. There we go, just a taste higher. Hold off on that for a second before we get that in it because we need that sizzle. We need the sizzle on that bacon in that pot. I'm not sure how you like your collards, or even if you don't like collards. Here's a alternative. When you're mixing the greens, I prefer mixed greens. I enjoy mixed greens. The collards and the mustards, they marry well together. Another one is the kale green. Of course, this is for my green lovers out there. Where are my green lovers? This one is for my green lovers. Kale reminds you of collards. It really does. We're getting a sizzle back here, and this is just what we need. We want to hear that sizzle going so we can get that bacon up to a temp the way that we like it. We're not looking for anything too crispy. No, not necessarily, because we need just that fat from that bacon to add into our greens. So we have this sizzle. I like that. I like what I'm hearing, Damien. Here you go, Damien. I'm gonna get you to add the remainder of this bacon. And this here is the entire pack, which is gonna give you almost like a cup and a quarter of bacon. So we need that. We're gonna get that together, okay? We're gonna get that together. We're gonna use the fat from the bacon to saute our veggies. Once we saute our veggies, we're gonna add in our collards. We're gonna cook those collards down. Now those collards have a thickness to them, like a, that kind of, we still want that bite to them, and they have like this tanginess going on there. So we wanna kind of cook some of that out. We wanna kind of extract a lot of that tartness that comes with these collards from there by adding in, we have some red wine vinegar. We're gonna touch that with some brown sugar. So we need that sweet, sour, tangy to balance out, and we're gonna do that with some brown sugar and all of that. We also gonna incorporate some bay leaves. I want you to really grasp what's taking place with this recipe. There's a lot to gain from this recipe, and you can tweak it how you like. Remember, we're building confidence in the kitchen. We're gonna check on this bacon. Now, how's everything coming along, Damien? Okay, we got us a nice sizzle. We're just gonna cook that down. I'm gonna get you to just stir that around so it just won't stick all together. So yeah, just go ahead and stir that around for me. Just kind of move it around that pan to ensure that it's not sticking together. We're gonna get this bacon cooked up, and we'll be back in a moment.
pineapple-infused.com.
Welcome back to Soulful Eats with your host, Chef Sophie Marie, Southern Soul with Occasion Twist. In this kitchen, we're building up confidence. We have our sweet potatoes, and they are coming along just fine. Damien, I'm gonna get you to add in about a half, that's a quarter cup. Look, that's a quarter cup of water. Add that quarter cup of water to those sweet potatoes. We're getting those nice and tender. We need those sweet potatoes fork tender so that we can incorporate our ingredients and have us some scrumptious going on. We have our bacon here ready. This was the color and like the hardness that I'm going for that bacon. And we have that fat over there, that bacon fat. We're going to saute our veggies in the bacon fat. Then I'm going to go ahead and get you to add these veggies in there. We're going to add about a cup of those diced veggies in there. And we're going to get those sauteed. Now you hear that sizzle? That sizzling is good. I don't know what takes place in your kitchen Saturday, Sunday through Monday, Tuesday, but in our kitchen, Soulful Eats is 7 days a week. It doesn't have a specific day. Traditionally, Sunday soul, you get your family and everyone together. Who needs to wait on one day when you have 6 other days that you can fellowship with your family, loved ones, and friends? And this is exactly what we do over here in the kitchen with Chef Sophie Marie. We invite you in, get these recipes so you can contribute them to your family as well. So we're gonna get these sauteed down a bit here, and as we're cooking those down, I need to give you a little tip as well. With these veggies, as we're allowing them to cook down, we just need them to get a little tender, okay? This is where we're going to add in our dry seasonings, our granulated garlics and things of that nature. We do not want to have these seasonings sitting on top of these greens. This is why our veggies, especially when they're collards and mustards and things like that, this is why we lose that flavor. We build flavor over here. This is all this is about. These recipes that I have given out to you all, it's about building flavor, creating something unforgettable. So we need to add the seasonings to these veggies. And so they're going to stick down here at this pan, and you're going to almost look like it's burning, but it's not burning. It isn't burnt. That's all of your flavor. And once you add in your liquids, it's going to deglaze that pan, and it's going to create all of that flavor that you need to get these green veggies flavorful. It is so hard from time to time to get your green veggies flavorful, but this is a trick that you can use to ensure that your veggies and things are creating flavor, that they have flavor. I'm going to get this up to a high temp. Okay, we need those to go ahead and sizzle, and I'm going to add in these seasonings, the same seasonings that we use on our turkey wings, because we're building flavor here. We want everything to just kind of marry together and just have a nice flavor. Again, we are preparing black garlic collard greens, and they're black garlic collard greens because this black garlic is a distinctive flavor. It has an incredible flavor profile that's going to marry well with these greens. If you haven't tried it, I encourage you to try it. I love garlic. And listen, black garlic is one for the win. It marries well with mustard greens as well. I mean, greens are my friend. Okay, greens are my friend. We have the thyme, we have the crushed red peppers here. We have some Cajun seasoned smoked paprika, brown sugar. We did a half a teaspoon of them all, and we got this little mixture here. Of course, and we don't let me forget now, we also have the roasted garlic, because we're not going anywhere without the roasted garlic, okay? Although we do have our black garlic, roasted garlic is a girl's best friend. I'm just here to tell you, especially in the kitchen. I'm telling you, you know I love the roasted garlic, okay? And so we just have these, and we're just gonna mix these around here. I love to build flavor, okay? And we're also building flavor with this meal here. So we're just gonna mix this together. We need all of our seasonings mixed together. I know sometimes you like to layer the seasonings one by one, but that kind of, to me, it separates the flavors. But when you bring them all together, it creates an in-depth flavor. So we have these, I can smell these peppers and everything smelling so lovely. So we're just going to razzle-dazzle this around here, razzle-dazzle. We're going to razzle-dazzle this around here. Okay, and that smoked paprika is going to be your color. That's where you're going to see that orange kind of color coming through there, and all of that. We're going to hit it one more time. So that's 3 times for the razzle dazzle. Okay, razzle, razzle, dazzle. Okay, that's the razzle dazzle. We need that razzle dazzle. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and add in our black garlic. We're going to start off with a tablespoon of the black garlic. To me, I feel like that tablespoon is going to get us where we need to be as far as that flavor. We already have the roasted garlic one. There we go. We have the roasted garlic. Here you go, Damien. Get you to get that. Dust some of this seasoning off of my gloves here. We have that roasted garlic as well as that black garlic. So I think we're good on the garlic, okay? I'm feeling like we're real smooth and good on the garlic. I'm going to get this right here, and I'm just going to whisk this around here, move this around here. Move that around here. Damien, I'm going to get you to take this and actually give me that whisk, because I want to go ahead and start pulling some of these flavors. Thank you. There we go. There we go. When I tell you this right here is looking good, and it's smelling good, the aroma in your kitchen is going to be incredible. Incredible. It doesn't take long for these greens to cook down. Here you go, Damien. It doesn't take long for those to cook down at all. So once we get these together, kind of not as hard, just kind of a little soft. We need that texture of that bell pepper to be soft. You can use any bell pepper of your choice. Today we use the orange bell pepper and the green bell pepper. The green bell pepper, you know, it's a little more stronger in taste. And we have the orange one, which it kind of give you like that sweetness going on there. So marry well with your greens, okay? We love our veggies and our greens. Now we have this cooking down. We need to incorporate some type of vinegar. So we're going to use this red wine vinegar. Okay, go ahead and add that to that pan for me, Damien. Oh, this is smelling lovely. When I tell you, you get lost in the smells. We do not have smell-o-vision. We all know that, okay? But if you take what we're doing here and you bring it home to your kitchen, you'll have the same aromas taking place inside of your kitchen. This is smelling good. I'm getting excited. I am getting excited. This is going to be lovely. Damien, I'm going to get you to add just a little razzle-dazzle of that sugar there. This is also going to, just kind of balance out that tartness that's in there. Let me see. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, you're good. That's enough right there. There you go. There you go. Not too heavy on the razzle dazzle. Just a nice bit. We do have a sprinkle of brown sugar here, but that white sugar is also going to balance out that tartness that comes from these collards, okay? So we have this, that's looking really nice. That color is depth and it is nice and brown looking. It's really nice. So we're going to add in our greens. We're going to gradually add in our greens to this here. Let's see. We're going to add these we're going to do about 3 handfuls of this. We're going to allow these to cook down. I have a bay leaf. At this time, I'm going to go ahead and add that bay leaf. This is going to bring some flavor. I'm just going to add this to the side. Boom, boom, boom. Like this, like that. Now, you can use any stock broth of your choice, okay? I have a little mixture of the chicken and it's diluted with a taste of water. Now you can also use beef. The reason I'm using the chicken is because we're cooking turkey wings, so I want the flavors to balance out. Okay, so this is equivalent to a half a cup. So we're just going to gradually add this in because we still have to add in our remainder collards. And remember, we're building flavor, so we have those flavors down at the bottom, okay? And so at this time, you do not add any sprinkle of your seasonings or anything. It adds that grit to it. I'm going to say it like that. It's not that you're doing anything wrong. A lot of the times it's just about how you're doing it. Okay, not what you're doing, but how you're doing it. Of course we need seasoning, but we don't want you to just add all of the seasoning here on top to where it just sits there. And we have to place a lid on here. We have to cook these greens down. So we don't want you to just have no gritty greens, okay? And when you're preparing your greens, ensure that you're cleaning them thoroughly. You're rinsing, get all of the dirt off of there. We don't want our greens swimming around in grits. We don't need that. Take your time. Some things take time. And in order to get this done correctly, sometimes you gotta pace yourself, okay? So rinse those greens really well and just roll them and slice them. Cut them how you like, okay? I did like a little, just something nice. Don't overthink it. Do not overthink it, I have a few here that looks like I can cut them down a few more. So, we're just kind of ripping those things out. Get you a nice little roll up there, okay? Nice roll up, okay? And you just get your little ribbon cut there, okay? And you'll have some lovely greens, okay? David, I'm gonna get you to check those sweet potatoes for me. Check them and ensure that they're fork tender. We're looking for a fork tenderness on those sweet potatoes. And I'm going to check on these greens. I do not want to disturb them. Remember, we built the flavor at the bottom. So once we continue to add in these greens, incorporate the greens, we're gonna have some flavor going on. So I don't necessarily want to disturb them just yet. There's some nice flavors. And so we're gonna add a little more. It seems like we're gonna be able to add them all here. Let's see, because I need that bottom to cook down. I want to try to get them, let's see. All right, we're gonna hold on. We're gonna let these cook down. How are those sweet potatoes coming along, Damien?
Going good.
Going good? Okay, awesome. So we're gonna let these cook down and we're gonna gradually add in our remainder of the greens. Once we get those cooked down, we're gonna place our lid on them. Let them cook down for about 15 minutes. Add in that bacon. Listen, we'll be back in a moment with this finished product. Welcome back. I'm your host, Chef Soulful Eats, and we're getting everything together here in this kitchen. I want to give you this tip when it comes down to these sweet potatoes. In today's kitchen, we are preparing Soulful Eats, okay? And we're building confidence as well as building flavors, okay? So in the beginning, I showed you that we needed to get these sweet potatoes together with the pineapple juice. And you've seen that I added in a tablespoon of vanilla extract. This is also building flavor. This is a an easy way for you to get that candy sweet potato that you're looking for. See how this is just already together at the bottom? This is what you will want. And it's easy instead of adding so much sugar. You know, usually when you're looking for that candy sweet potato, you have to add layers and layers of sugar, white sugar, brown sugar, and things like that. But when you have that pineapple juice, it's a natural sweetener. And so therefore you're gonna have that sweetness and everything like that. And at the end, you will have a beautiful vanilla extract flavor to marry well with it. Now, that 2 tablespoons, we broke it down. 1 tablespoon at the beginning, last tablespoon at the end. So we're gonna add in our butter, 1/4 cup of brown sugar, nutmeg, and cinnamon. Yes, if you do not like the nutmeg, you can omit the nutmeg. I love nutmeg, so I include it into all of my sweet potatoes, no matter if it's a sweet potato casserole, candy sweet potatoes, sweet potato, sweet potato, sweet potato. Even in my sweet potato delight cookie, there's nutmeg. We love nutmeg. I love my spices over here, okay? So we're gonna add in this tablespoon of vanilla extract. This is the end. This is where we can begin the putting together, the building. Let me say it like that, the building of the sweet potatoes, okay? And so we're gonna add in a tablespoon of butter. We're gradually adding in a tablespoon, no more than 3, okay? It depends on the size of your potatoes, your sweet potatoes. I'm adding in 1 at a time to kind of see about the consistency that I would like. And so we have this packed pure brown sugar so it can evenly distribute as it's, you know, as the cooking process goes forward. And so we're just gonna bring this back on the heat, on medium-high heat. We're gonna let that kind of cook down here a bit. We have our turkey wings. They're cooking away. We have our greens. I want to show you these greens as far as how we're building flavors with these. With these greens here, remember I told you about how the layering process takes place. Now you can see the colors of everything that you're incorporating into your greens. You can't smell it. I told you we don't have smell-o-vision, but if we did, you would enjoy this. This is flavor building greatness here. We have built some amazing flavors here in this kitchen. When we return, once we return, you will see this plated Soulful Eats meal that we have prepared for you from our kitchen directly to yours. See you when we return. Welcome back to Soulful Eats. I'm your host, Chef Sophie Marie. Today we have not only build confidence in the kitchen, but we build flavors on flavors. Let's recap on what it is we prepared today in hopes that you too will prepare this for your family, loved ones, and friends. We have the black garlic collard greens, the braised turkey wings, and the pineapple-infused sweet potatoes. When I say scrumptious, I mean just that. T-Fusion is one of our great sponsors. I enjoy these type of hearty soulful meals with a beverage directly from T-Fusion. When I tell you the hibiscus ginger is amazing. I absolutely love to pair these with my Soulful Eats. I mean, anytime. I just do. Listen, I hope that you try at least one of the recipes that I gave to you. Thank you again for all of my sponsors, Summit Mercantile Antique Mall, T-Fusion, Pink Beauty Supply, as well as Vintage Girls of Summit, Mississippi. Until next time, I'm Chef Sophie Marie. I am your favorite chef. You just don't know it yet. See you next time.